Hi, I'm Michael, and this is Carelifornia. And right now, undoubtedly, we are going through one of the toughest patches we've had in this country in the last 30 years. But so far, in that time, it never got to the point of so many people losing their lives, losing their livelihoods, and if nothing is done, soon will lose their homes as well. But our leaders on both sides of Congress sit sidelined by any action of squabbling over scoring political points, each using the American people's suffering as a wedge to gain the advantage. And the one key thing that might actually bring some stability back into our country is another stimulus check. This is agreed on by both sides, but still, neither side is willing to compromise to get a deal done. So today, we are talking about the stalemate in Congress and how that persists in the current state of people's lives in our country. Now, this is your 5-minute daily dose, so let's make this quick. But before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it interesting, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. As it sits, the negotiation for the next stimulus package looks pretty bleak. The White House, senators, and members of the House this week have all been scrambling frantically, but without any movement on a deal. On Monday, White House advisor Steve Mnuchin told reporters when asked about ongoing stimulus package negotiations, he said, "If we can get a fair deal, we're willing to do it this week." But the key word in there is fair deal. And this doesn't seem to be apparent considering last week, up against the Friday deadline, Democratic lawmakers Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer were willing to bring down the overall cost of their HEROES Act from $3 trillion to $2 trillion, which is a halfway meeting point between the HEROES Act and the $1 trillion HEALS Act proposed by Republican senators. But the big discrepancy is really on the amounts for the continued enhanced unemployment benefits, more money for states and local governments, and Mitch McConnell's take it or leave it issue of liability protections for businesses. But if they cannot come to an agreement by the end of this week, it will be very unlikely that anybody will see stimulus checks or any sort of stimulus measures by the end of this month. One of the most startling things about the stalemate in Congress is how many people are in tough situations across the country waiting for some sort of movement on stimulus packages from Congress. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, as of July 21st, 21% of all renters in the U.S. are currently behind on their rents. This comes out to 14.8 million adults, which in addition to 8 million children are living in households who are behind on their rent. The momentous amount of people whose lives have been turned upside down by both the pandemic and the subsequent lockdowns is evident in these numbers. Luckily, up to this point, there had been some resources like rental assistance and eviction protections that were passed in the first stimulus package. But almost all of those protections either have already ran out or will end in the next month or two. And unfortunately, this isn't even the most pressing of issues facing many of our friends and neighbors. The real issue is food, something that has not even been addressed by either the Republicans or the White House in their proposals for the next stimulus packages. Right now, according to the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities Household Pulse Survey, between 9 and 17 million children in the U.S. live in households where they do not get enough food to eat because they cannot afford it. One of the main causes of this is the ridiculously low amount of food benefits that low-income houses receive from programs like SNAP and the temporary PPP program, primarily because the benefits that they receive have not kept pace with the rapidly increasing cost of food. This only adds to the problem of SNAP benefits, even at their max, being set at the lowest resource level available under the USDA allowance rates. So without additional SNAP, PEBT, and WIC benefits, millions of children will continually be hungry every day, a situation that will only be made worse by the inaction of our leaders in Congress. Overall, it seems to be this is a case where the cause of the illness is known, the cure is apparent, but the doctors arguing over who will administer the treatment is going to end up doing us all the most harm. With the Senate, the White House, and the House all stuck in this three-way standoff, the country is left to waste away until Congress can come to their senses and figure out how to work together to get us out of this worsening situation. But the biggest tragedy of all is the millions of people who are going hungry every day and left without a purpose, without a job, or any way of supporting themselves for the foreseeable future as a result of Congress's inaction. This has been your 5-minute daily dose, and I hope that you found it interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, we here at Carelifornia, we know health insurance. So if you have any questions about your health insurance, Leave those down below and we'll be happy to make a new video or a new post as soon as we can. Now, other than that, I am Michael and this is Carelifornia, wishing you a happy, healthy day.